A little bit later on, it'll be the Dodgers playing in San Diego. Third game of this 4-game series is coming up shortly. Angels and Mariners. Tyler Anderson pitching for the Angels, and George Kirby getting the baseball for Seattle. When we get back, Mark Langston joins me for Countdown to First Pitch right here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network.
And here's the pitch. Crack open Hampton Farms in-shell.
It's presented by J&J Snack Foods. J&J Snack Foods is offering memorable and delicious snack experiences throughout the season. And don't forget, all season long, the day after the Angels win a game here at the Big A, fans can redeem free medium fries with a $1 minimum purchase at participating.
Jim Thorpe's resume.
That was the game the Angels never had a lead, Mark. They kept battling back to tie it up, but ultimately Seattle gets the winning runs in the ball game as they scored a run in the 8th and added on in the 9th.
Yeah, we were talking about it right at the beginning of the broadcast, how the team was going to respond after a stinging loss in Game 1, where they lost that game in the 9th inning. And sure enough, Reed Detmers put him in a big hole right out of the gate, a 4-run top of the first. But that 4 runs is a little bit tainted when you look at it in that first inning. All those runs come with 2 outs. And for Detmers, Tom Murphy was the big at-bat in that first inning. With 2 outs, he throws a curveball that is just a seeing-eye dribbler that Brandon Drury, his first game back, gets to it but can't get to his feet to throw Murphy out. He throws over there. It's late. That's run number 1. Obviously, 2 batters later, a 3-run home run by Ty France. That got the Mariners offense up and running. And it was a tough day for Reed Detmers, no doubt about it. A lot of pitches for Detmers. Through 4 innings, just 93 pitches, I should say. And 5 of the 7 runs that he allowed in that game yesterday come with 2 outs.
Yeah, you look back at it, a game where the Angels had 7 runs in 6 innings and 10 hits against Luis Castillo, and you lose at home. It's almost hard to believe.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part. When you are able to take down an elite pitcher like Luis Castillo, he's one of the best in baseball, and you're able to do that much damage to him and you don't win the ball game, that is another kind of a stinging defeat, because you just don't get those opportunities against a guy like that.
2 different times in that game last night, the Angels came back to tie it up, but ultimately drop it by the final of 9-7. A lot of good offense, though, in that game last night, and hopefully that'll continue here this evening.
Yeah, certainly Luis Rengifo is making it his statement that, hey, I can play at the top of the order. 2 for 4 night for Rengifo. Starts the bottom of the first off with a first pitch home run for Rengifo, number 11 on the year, and hitting in that leadoff spot now. In 14 games, Renifo 321 with 4 home runs in that leadoff spot.
All right, so the Angels come into the ball game tonight, currently 8.5 games out of first place. The Angels need a win just to stay over the 500 mark. A loss, the Angels would go back to 500. The wild card race, 8.5 coming into tonight's game, 5 games back. But already, some of the teams in front of the Angels, the Rays have already lost today. They have the number 1 wild card spot. Astros have the number 2 spot. They lost. And one of the teams, a couple spots ahead of the Angels, the Red Sox, they've lost. So a chance to gain some ground today in the wild card.
Yeah, it's all about taking care of business. Nothing happens unless you can win your ball game. And the Angels losing the first 2 games of this series against Seattle was a click ahead of the Angels when the series starts. Now they're really starting to get separated from the Seattle Mariners, another team that you're going to have to climb over. So the first 2 games have not gone well for the Angels, and you're getting to the point where you have got to start winning games. Certainly with the teams you're trying to track down, you have to take advantage of it when you go head-to-head.
All right, let's talk about the pitching matchup for the Angels. It'll be Tyler Anderson. He'll be facing Seattle for the first time this season. He has faced them in the past, but just 4 starts. This will be his 5th career start. Numbers aren't all that good. Lifetime against him, 1-1 ERA over 5.5, but he has been pitching pretty good baseball of late.
Yeah, if you look at Tyler Anderson's last 7 games, 6 of those starts, a 3.53 ERA, a 2-1 record. Much, much better with that changeup. He gets through those early innings and figures out the release point for that changeup. That's what's allowed him his last 2 starts to get into the 6th inning. His last start against the Blue Jays pitched into the 7th inning and allowed just 1 run in that start against that real powerful lineup that the Blue Jays throw out there.
Angels will face a strike thrower tonight in George Kirby.
George Kirby is the strike thrower of baseball. He's allowed just 1 walk per 9 innings in his 128 2/3 innings, allowed just 14 walks. So he's going to be around the plate. And once again, we talked about the Mariners. They attack with their fastball, and you're going to see a guy that's really going to use his fastball here again tonight. Angels, they need to score some runs, but they're going to need Tyler Anderson to throw the zeros on the other end. Anderson
pitched for Seattle just a couple seasons ago. We'll see if he can shine for the Angels tonight. That's all the time we have for you on Countdown to First Pitch. That's another edition of the Angels pregame show. As always, we hope you've enjoyed it. We do invite you to stay tuned next. The exciting Angels baseball follows here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. To host the Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody. Terry Smith along with Mark Langston. Our producer-engineer on this Saturday is Jorge Sevilla. And as always, we welcome you on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. 2 games of this 4-game series have been completed. The Angels have lost both of them by 2 runs. And the Angels hoping to snap a 4-game losing streak as we get ready for Game 3 of this series. Last night, Angels kept coming back but never held a lead as Seattle won that ball game 9-7. They got the go-ahead run in the 8th, an add-on run in the 9th, and the Angels had a quiet bottom of the 9th inning and suffering their 4th loss in a row. So going into play, Halos just a game over 500 now, 56-55. The Angels entered today 8.5 games out of first in the AL West in 4th place. First place Texas has already won. Second place Houston has lost. And Seattle right now, they're in 3rd place. They're 2.5 games in front of the Angels and 6 games out of first. The Seattle Mariners, one of the hottest teams in baseball, as they have gone 20-10 since the start of the month of July. And they have been tough so far in the first 2 games of this series. The pitching matchup tonight, Tyler Anderson goes for 7 in the last season and a half. As far as the starting pitcher for Seattle tonight, one of the best control pitchers in the game, and he's also a guy that will throw hard. He's averaging just under a strikeout an inning. Walked only 14 batters this year in 21 starts. Umpires have made their way out to home plate. When we get back, Mark Langston is eagerly standing by on this Saturday. He'll have the starting lineups. We'll have the start of tonight's game. Angels and Mariners. It's coming up in a few minutes on the Angels Baseball Radio Network.
A caring man took a walk. He saw people suffering. Anxiety ran high. Hatred.
Off their shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, their center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Hitting third over at third base, Eugenio Suarez. In the cleanup spot in right field, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth over at first base, Ty France. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter, Cal Raleigh. Batting seventh behind the plate tonight, Tom Murphy. Hitting eighth out in left field, Dylan Moore. And batting ninth, second baseman,